get on to this job. We're actually leaving out pretty decent time. So, let's make it do what it do on this Wednesday, which feels like a Tuesday. Don't make me lie to you. So hopefully you guys had a good night's sleep. Got home safely in one piece. No hassle, fuss, trouble, problems, misunderstandings. No meet and greets. Just all around a great day. So, it's Wednesday. And if anybody is like me, you are definitely looking forward to this 3-day weekend. Definitely. And go from there. I don't know, this lump in my throat from supposed to be my saliva gland. It's like really, really full and tender right now this morning. It really is. It kind of hurts. Definitely kind of hurts. Okay. We'll make it on to this job. Because somehow or another yesterday, my coworker, our supervisor, gave her, I think it was like a stack of packets to correct. Now, all last week and the week before, like if he gave a stack to myself or he gave a stack to our other co-worker, we just took care of it, right? We took the stack and we took care of it. We didn't sit up there and try to divvy it up or anything, right? Now, this other particular co-worker, he gives her a stack and tells her, maybe it's something that, you guys can work on. Instead of her just really looking at the stack, which wasn't really a lot. Like, the stack ended up breaking up, I think, into like 3 different packets, something like that. Something that she could have basically, did herself. She wants to sit up and come give me one of the packs to do, and she kept 2. And I just happened to look at the stacks. Now, the one I'm going through, I have to get the person who originally did the paperwork on it. I have to go back to them and have them correct at least 2 things, right? On their situation. But if those packets did not, it made no sense. I kid you not. It was not making any sense to where how she looked at that being like, this is too much for me to do. I'm looking like that's all we have to do right now because we're not going over to the other building no time soon. At least I don't think so, unless our supervisor changes his mind, right? So I'm just looking like you just really were overwhelmed with this. Like, this was just too much. And I couldn't do nothing but look. First I was upset. And then after that, when I started coming across the things that needed to be corrected, I was like, you know what? I brought it to my supervisor's attention, the things that need to be corrected because they have to go back and sign back off on it. And so I just I can't do that. I'm just so helpless and so lazy. Exxon holding at 179. Shell done broke down to 189. They came down. But that's just my thing, right? But something you can really take care of, and it's not a lot. Don't do that. But to just be lazy, it's almost like if somebody gave you 2 pieces of paper and told you to work on that, and you looked at them because they were front and back, and you'd be like, I'm going to give one of these to somebody else. For real. For real. That's what we doing. Don't do that. Go on and do the paperwork, do what you gotta do. You know, other than that, on some days you actually have a cool day of maxing, relaxing, listen to some music, or, you know, I don't know, watch a little show or something on YouTube or something on your phone. It's not really high demanding. So I just looked at it like, you really just can't be this lazy. Like, you really got overwhelmed by this. I don't, like, he said that before to us, like me and my other co-worker. You know, maybe y'all can, you know, split this up and get us. No. If you can look at it and it breaks down to where it's only 2 or 3, and they're all within the same container, man, go on handle that. I'm not splitting up the thing for, you know, everything that's in one container because it's been broke down into 3 different packets. No. I'm just going to just take care of them. That's it. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. Now, that's different if it's like a big banker box or storage box that's got full of paperwork. Then, yeah, that's something we divvy up. So that's a lot, right? When it ain't a lot, don't handle that. Okay, now to the boys. I watched episode 4 and 5. I'm gonna do 6 when I get home, right? Because honestly, I fell asleep. You hear me? I started 6, but I fell asleep. So, with that in mind, I am going to watch 6 when I get home. So, I'm sitting up there and I'm watching and I'm realizing from the description I read yesterday, which I posted in yesterday, the morning video, about the show. And like, for real, the guy who's supposed to be the character Homeland Security or Homeland, you know, it's supposed to be like between Captain America and Superman, right? They have a plane that's going down in episode 4. And he's like, well, first it was hijacked, the plane. And they came in, they knocked, you know, took care of the bad guys except for the one that was in the cockpit. The one that was in the cockpit, you know, when they broke in, he got the gun to the captain's head, pilot, right? And before they know it, he done shot the captain in the head. And so Homeland sit up here with his laser eyes, sit up here and cut the dude, you know, in half. And by him doing that, the lasers went across the I guess the board of the airplane, right? The control panel. And I'm trying to remember the female character who was with him, right? She asked him if he knew how to fly the plane. He was like, no. So she was like, okay, well, maybe you could fly down the passengers like one at a time to the ground. And he was like, do that 120, I think he said 123 or 125 times. He was like, no. And so he was like, we just gotta go. You know, it's nothing we can do. And she was like, what you mean? You can't fly outside the plane. You can't guide it to keep it straight. You can't try to, you know, land it or anything from the outside. And he was like, it's most likely I would sit up there if I sit up and try to push it or what do you say, try to push it or veer it a certain way. He was like, I might just go through the whole plane. So I'm looking like you don't know how to. I'm looking like Superman knew how to control this stuff, grab some things and guide it and bring it a plane down, save the people, whatever it is. This little Homeland character is like, basically, I ain't doing it. I don't care what suggestions you got, but I ain't doing it. So he was like, don't sit here and die. He told the lady, don't sit here and die with these people. And she was like, well, just take the kids. Just take the kids. He was like, no, leave them. And she was just so hurt and distraught. So hurt and distraught. And she sat up there and left the plane with him. And the plane ended up crashing. And everybody on it died. And that tore her up, baby. It tore her up. So, she just really can't at this point, can't stand to look at him or be around him too much. And then he's, I don't know, the other girl, Starlight, they got her at a religious retreat or a festival or something like that, and her views about certain things that, because of what she's dealt with in the past year or so, she has kind of changed her mind on some things when it comes to religion aspects, right? And for that, she gives her speech, have different people that give speeches. And they have one guy, I forgot, Ezekiel or something like that. And I guess one of the guys that's trying to get them, that's the opposite of these superheroes, is trying to get these superheroes to basically admit their corruption that they're doing. Because some of them are really misusing their powers. Like I said, Homeland. A-Train, which is the guy that's supposed to be like the fastest, right? The one I was telling you yesterday, who was taking like some like a type of drug enhancement in order to make him go faster. I forgot what he call it, something B. I'm gonna have to watch it again. Well, when I watch it 6, I'm sure they'll talk about it again. So, not the name of the drug, because in episode 5, you see that Ezekiel told the other guy, the young man, about the drug and where the next shipment was, which was supposed to be at a hospital, at a NIC unit. And what they have is the babies hooked up at the NIC unit with that same drug enhancement that A-Train be taking. And it alters the children in order to have like that laser beam or certain powers. And he found that out because they had a video to blackmail the superhero Ezekiel. And I guess he's almost like Mr. Stretch or whatever. It was just, and he told him, he said, besides you telling me where these drugs are at, he said, I need you to sit there and stop giving these speeches on hating people, or, hating people that's different, knowing that Ezekiel is different himself. I don't know what Ezekiel pronoun is, but Ezekiel is different as well, right? But when he's at these festivals and out preaching to the world, he's preaching, telling people that these, other folks are abomination, they're evil, and this, that, and the third. And in real life, he's preaching about of hating, right? Or they're not right. And Starlight, they try to get her to try to tell these group of teenagers that she's a virgin and that she should wait till marriage, and different things in her life that she wanted to be honest about, but they didn't. Her mother and I guess the guy who was running the group didn't want her to, because one of the young ladies asked the question of saying somebody on her soccer team or something like that was Hindu. And she said she know that it's her job to convert her to basically Christ is what she's saying. And so the Starlight was like, well, Christ said, to love thy neighbor. Well, Jesus says to love your neighbor, right? And the director of the group was like, but it is your job, to save them and bring them to Jesus. And Starlight's looking at him like, wow. So it's like a whole bunch of stuff meshed up in this show, and you just be looking like, wow. And on some occasions, this stuff really does happen. It really does happen. So people feel suffocated on a lot of parts of their life to where they feel like they can't really live and breathe or be themselves because they have to keep up whatever imagery they put forth in the world and trying to make sure everybody else is okay. Nothing is bothering anyone else. How they'll put other people first before they'll take care of themselves. And that's starting to bother Starlight. And she just really wants to be able to have a moment of breathing, of just being within herself. Because she told him, she's like, I love God. I accept God. But she was like, what they have me reading and telling you guys are not my words. It's not truly, how I feel. And so she started to tell them. And her mom looked like she was upset. Because she was telling her mom she doesn't want to go do this. She doesn't want to go out there. And her mom was like, but my friends are watching. I told them you were going to be out there. And she was like, don't, for me, can you go out there? Don't do this to me. All the events I took you to growing up and all the things I've done for you. Like basically pressuring the girl to do it. So for her mom to be able to live in that grace. So, man, I don't know. I just, figure people should just go and be themselves. Don't sugarcoat anything. Just be the same way you want people to respect you. Don't respect you. If you're around people who don't seem like they want to respect you, the moon is out here. Y'all have to look at that. You see that beautiful moon? You have to see that. I know you see that. That is gorgeous. Sorry, I went off subject just a little bit. Just a little bit, right? I got to go around this curve, so that's the reason I'm holding the phone. And I can't necessarily put you down because put you back on the thing because this is a sharp curve and I'm trying to pay attention to it. And then I can put you on it. See? We're good. So, that's the only thing I can say is just be respectful of each other. Be respectful. Wait. Excuse me. I'm so sorry, y'all. The way you want to be treated and respected is the same thing you do for somebody else. You respect and you treat them with the utmost. And I would love to say that everything would be peachy, but it ain't like that all the time. We are who we are in these worlds, and it just don't match up all the time. But you got to find like some type of peace within yourself. because you got some people who just wake up on a daily, ticked off to the highest level of festivity. And you just like, it's early in the morning. And you upset like this? You walking around this already? It's too early for that. So you just baby, I try to be as peaceful as I can. You know, don't bother me, I won't bother you. We good. You don't like me, hey, that sound like a personal problem. Leave me alone, and we good. So we done made it to the garage. Not bad, huh? We done did it. What was it? Is that door? You did it. You did it. You did it. So we made it to the garage. I appreciate y'all driving in and commuting with me this morning. Pray that you get to your either home, work, or your choice of destination safe and sound in one piece. No hassle, fuss, trouble, problems, and misunderstandings. No meet and greets, babies. You know. Have a great day. Have a blessed day. Have an awesome day, honey. I know people will try your patience, baby. But if you can, truly just try to be respectful. People, they gonna try them. They gonna really try to get to you on some days, and you just be like, you know what? You need some help. So, all right, hun buns. We done made it here. I'm gonna get on downstairs. Got 2 minutes to get in the building.